One of the first steps to 3D printing is gathering all your materials. Here I have polylactic acid, more commonly known as PLA. PLA is what you feed into 3D printers, so then they can make their prints. PLA also has its own set of variables, most notably being the print temperature, the width, and the color. The colors of PLA that I have right now are green, white, gray, dark blue, and yellow. The width is the diameter of the PLA. All my PLA are 1.75 millimeters wide. And finally, the print temperature is the heat at which the PLA becomes more moldable, so the 3D printer can mold it into shape. Most of my PLA have a print temperature of 205 to 225 degrees. The next thing we'll need is a couple softwares. So the first one that we need is somewhere that I can make my 3D objects. The industry standard is to use AutoCAD, but I very much cannot afford that. So then I end up just using Tinkercad, which is just a free one that opens up on your web browser. The next kind of software that we'll need is a slicer. The most common one is Cura Ultimaker. Unfortunately enough for me, it's free, so I decided to use it. So this is the 3D printer. It's a Ender 3. So this is the PLA, and the PLA gets fed into the nozzle here. The nozzle, when the 3D printer is printing, it will heat up, and also the light on the side will turn on. The bed here, this also heats up when printing. The nozzle moves along this axis here, and then the plate moves forth and back, and that's the little console. Next, I decided on what I wanted to 3D print. So first, I wanted to 3D print a creeper from Minecraft, which is one of the most recognizable things in all of gaming. But then, when I 3D modeled it, the leg part, it just felt very awkward, so I decided against it. So next, I just went to a different game that I play for reference, Genshin Impact, and then I ran into a mob called the Cryo Slime. I thought that maybe I could try to model it, so I went ahead and modeled it. And here's a little speed up of me modeling it in Tinkercad, and this is what it looks like when it's all sliced up. This little aqua part under the spiky hat thing is a support that was just added by the 3D printer. You can also see all the individual steps that the 3D printer will take while printing. So then, this is the first layer, and then by the end it will have 353 layers. And I think this looks good, and I think it's ready to print. So here's a time lapse of the 3D printer making its print. It took about 9 hours in total. I used black PLA for it, because I was gonna paint over it anyways. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking, because 30 seconds is a long time to talk. So here's the final product. So the helmet piece, the spikes can be a bit better. It kind of misprinted a bit on it, but I think it looks all right. The main unit itself, it can definitely be sanded down a bit more, so it looks smoother. So the first thing I did was to remove the support that was automatically added by the slicer. So to do this, I just used a pair of pliers and a circle saw. By the time I was done with that, it started looking like this. It doesn't look that great. So then at this point, I just started sanding it down and occasionally using the pliers when the plastic started getting weak and when I could just pull it out. So now that it fit on the main part well, I started painting. So I use acrylic paint here. I'm just going to show the first and last time lapse because if I showed myself painting all 8 layers, it would take a very long time. Unfortunately, my painting skills are not very great, so the final product did not turn out how I wanted it to be, but it's not bad. Or well, not that bad. So now the video's at the point where I really want to conclude it, but I really don't know how. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.